Hi, and welcome to the Stitches Podcast. I'm your host, Connor.
And I'm your co-host, Tash.
Welcome. Today is a little bit different. We are joined by a guest, Iris.
Hello, I'm Iris. Thanks for having me on the podcast. I'm actually really excited to be here. A bit nervous, but...
Don't be nervous. You're in safe hands. You will get judged a lot, but not because of anything you've done. Just anything you believe in, you know?
I feel like I believe everything that you guys don't believe in.
So you're a very superstitious person?
Oh, I really am. I mean, I found out you don't believe in aliens?
I believe in aliens.
Oh, wait, there's something... Ghost! You don't believe in ghosts?
I don't believe in ghosts.
And ever since then, I was like, why are you hosting this podcast? I'm sorry.
Bastard side eye.
Wow. I'm entitled to my beliefs, people. Please.
You can't have a podcast based on, like, superstitious stuff and be like, I don't believe in ghosts. That's number one.
I'm controversial. Sue me.
I probably will.
Yeah.
So today we are going to be talking about dreams.
Ba-da-boom.
Everybody has them. I mean, this one isn't really like... we can't start off the way we usually do, which is do you believe or do not believe, because obviously... everyone has dreams.
Well, what are you talking about? Dreams don't exist.
Martin Luther King had a dream.
Did you say Martha Luther King?
It's ever since that kid, man. She's confused me so much. Have you not seen this video?
I've seen it.
Ever since that video, I don't know what this man's name is.
So I think we should start off with what everyone thinks dreams are. Connor.
I'd say my theory behind dreams is you're peering into different universes.
You dig a multiverse?
Yeah, so I think dreams are you're peering into a different universe, and it's like everything, everywhere, all at once, where anything can happen, and you're just looking into parts of your life. I know that's exactly what it was like in Doctor Strange, but I'm pretty sure I had this theory before Doctor Strange came out, so...
Oh, so you thought of multiverse first.
Copyright right now.
Yeah.
You were listening to it first.
I mean, if I had the smarts and the grades, I'd be a scientist. I've got the theories. I've got the theories part down.
That's all being a scientist is. It's just making up stuff. I mean, yeah, sure, trying to prove it. Some of them never get proven right, but...
I mean, like flat earthers.
Oh, we can't call flat earthers scientists.
No, but there's some that literally have like budget funding and everything. Yeah. So like, I mean, I guess then it's like the whole question. I mean, we're going completely sidetracked here, but then what's considered a scientist?
You're right. Flat earthers are the truest form of scientism. Scientology. Ooh. Oh, wait, aren't Scientology... don't they believe in flat earth, Scientology?
I don't know. I try to avoid them as much as possible or read anything about them. I feel like the moment you start reading about them, they're on your like back and be like, come join us.
I kind of want to get approached.
And I get what you mean.
I just want to see if I'm good enough to be part of a cult, you know?
Apparently, they have a building somewhere in America where they like entice you in. Because I saw a video of someone being like, don't go in there, bro. That's how they get you. They doesn't say it, but it actually says Scientology.
Oh, I saw this video online where this woman really needed to use a bathroom. And she was like, oh my God, big apartment thingy or whatever. Runs in and they're like, can I use the bathroom, please? And then they're like, yeah, of course. And apparently she was walking and everyone was looking at her, but smiling and being kind of like, she said like it was really creepy, but in a sense where it's like, ooh.
Anyway, multiverse.
Yes, dreams. Yeah, I believe mostly was. Yeah.
Is that like something that you really truly believe, or is that something that you want to be true?
I guess it's like part, because some of your dreams, you're not you. You're like watching somebody else.
Third person, yeah.
It could be like your dream walking, you're spectating other people's lives. You know, you're like the watcher. What if herein, you know, you're like, oh, this is pretty fun.
I do kind of have like a dream, like something similar to what you're actually saying. So I actually wrote it in my dream journal like years ago. This was a time when I would be meditating twice a day for half an hour, like morning and night. With this dream, I remember like waking up in like this mansion, and I remember looking in like the mirror, and I was for some reason a black woman, and I was like, cool. Dreams be dreaming, but this was like the first dream I was like, I know I'm sleeping and I know this wasn't my body. And I was kind of a bit like, you know what? I'm not freaking out about it, because if you freak out, bad shit starts to happen and all that. Yeah, so apparently it was like a big, like, it was really big, like church with yellow lights, old paintings, and like those like stained windows you get. Like it was super, super detailed. And then I kind of like met these like loads of people that were there, and they were all like having like loads of fun. We were having like, there's a lot of like magical things were happening, And I remember just walking with one of the guys that I was like really close to in my dream. And he like looked at me and he was like, I know that you are dreaming, by the way. And I know that you know that this is all like not a dream, but like, I know that you're awake, he said. And I went like, oh, I'm cool. And then he was like, but don't worry, I know. So I'm like, I'm going to handle it, but don't tell them because they will handle it way worse. And I woke up in another dream. And in this dream, it was my room and completely like flipped. Everything was flipped. And then this same guy walks into my dream and it was like, oh my God, I heard you screaming in your dream. Oh my God, that's such a weird dream, wasn't it? Blah, blah, blah. I was fully convinced like I was awake when I wasn't awake. And I remember being like trying to go on my phone and he was like, no, don't go on your phone. Because like the moment I tried to go on my phone, it wasn't working. And I was like, oh, I looked at him. I was like, this is a dream again, isn't it? And then I literally like woke up from my dream sweating and everything. So I kind of believe that because like I remember like waking up and being like, oh, I was playing with the gods. I don't know why. I just had that really like inclined feeling. I was playing with like something that was 100% real. Because like I had like full like I even like unfortunately in my book it's like wet. But I had like a full like sketch of this person who I looked like in my dream. Yeah, it's like kind of not great because it's like water got over it. But
So you believe in the same multiverse theory?
yes and no. I have like a incline of like some dreams do occur like that, whereas I do think some occur to like the subconscious mind of like, you know, trauma response or like stress response, good memories that you kind of want to relive. I also believe it's like another path to the spirit realm. So kind of like all between. There's no like, yes, I can 100% believe in that because I also believe that there's also other, not theories, but things that combine into it.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, lucid dreaming, would that be you taking control of somebody's body? But then, as you said in your dream, that person was like, I know you're dreaming. And I've had that in my dream where someone's said, I know you're dreaming. I've never said that to anyone in my life, so I'd have never met anyone that's been dreaming in this world. So it would go to say, if it happens in your dreams and that's in a different world, has anyone ever said that to anyone randomly? That, oh, you know, you're acting a little bit weird. I think you're dreaming.
Like, could you imagine? I would freak out if someone said that to me, like, in this world. Someone just came up from around me and went, I know you're dreaming. Like, am I? Like, the confusion that would cause. In the same, like, sort of pool that you're in, Iris, where I'm like, mine is more, like, spiritual. I feel like it's like a weird combination. I think you kind of, like, your spirit jumps out, your soul, whatever you may call it, jumps out when you're sleeping and, like, takes you to all these weird places. Some of them are like past lives. Some of them are experiences that are going to happen in the future or that might have happened in the past. And it all kind of happens all at once. But it's not enough for like your brain to comprehend, which is why we don't remember it. That's what I think anyway. I don't know. Just because sometimes my dreams are like really weird. And then sometimes they're like, this is something that could happen. Like, sometimes they're really regular. Like, I just wake up and I go to work and then I come back and then I go to sleep, like in my dream. Then I wake up in real life and I'm like, I've been to work already. And then everything that happened in my dream, like little
That's
glimpses
actually
happen.
really cool. You may be a bit like clairvoyant. And my friend, Violet, I think she's told me like sometimes she dreams and like shit just comes like true. And then there was also like this guy who I used to be friends with, but he would be really into like spirituality, meditating. I feel like that meditation like phase I had in my life really helped me that's why I started a dream journal back then, because like I was becoming so much more aware of like dreams and all of that stuff. But this is like another question, like what is actually like defined as lucid dreaming? Is it like when you're only awake in your sleep? Because like this guy, he said I think it was the term lucid dreaming, but he basically had a friend who was like, I feel like something's watching me in my room when I'm sleeping, like this negative energy. And I don't know if it's the word lucid dreaming, but like kind of like teleport out of his body and go to places he's already been.
Oh,
astral projection. Yes, that's the word. And he saw in the corner, particularly the like corner, he was saying like, oh, that's the negative energy. The guy who was astral projecting saw this like black mercury like energy around his whole house, particularly that corner. And ever since they like properly like cleansed the place, like, and he went back to check in the astral world, it was gone.
I had a lucid dream where I don't think it was like astral projection. I think I just kind of like with everything because I realized I don't know what happened, but I was just like walking with a friend. Then I realized I was dreaming because something didn't seem right. I think the road we were using wasn't the same. And I was just like, this isn't right. Oh yeah, I'm dreaming. Great. So then I was like, I'm dreaming. I can control everything here. So I moved my childhood street to be right next to the street that my parents were living on. And I was just like messing with stuff like that. And suddenly this like figure, it kind of felt like corner of the eye, something watching and being like, what the hell's going on? And then I was like, okay. And I was still just like messing around, just doing this. And then it just got really upset with me, started to try and get me. And then I was like, you can't get me. I can control this dream. Duh. Go away, go away. And then it didn't go away and I couldn't control it. So I started freaking out and trying to run away. But then I was just like literally running in the same spot as it was sort of coming closer to me. And then it just got me. And then I woke up and I was like, damn. I was just starting to have fun too. God damn it.
It's weird. That's kind of like the Matrix, where they realize that you're in the Matrix and they start to try and take you out.
Yeah, I had a similar dream to like what you said as well right now, where I didn't have much control of it because I was like, oh, I feel like I'd get in trouble. But I remember being like in my old English classroom, like in high school. And I remember being like, oh my God, I'm dreaming. And I remember outside was like bright lights. And then the moment they found out like I was like knowing that I can like mess things around, like I was messing, not like doing what you did where I was like, oh, let me do this, oh, let me do this. Yeah, you went crazy. You were creating like a whole Sims world. The moment they kind of realized I got chased, like with all of these kids in my school kind of like chased me with knives and all of that. It got really like, and I was like, what the, like, can't I have fun? And I remember just waking up being like,
and talking to like my little brother as well, he's described, like he's 9, he would describe stuff like that where he was like, he remembers a lot of his dreams and he says he knows he's dreaming most of the time because everything's weird. And then I'm like, oh, do you change things? And he's like, sometimes, but he tries not to because then weird stuff starts to happen. And he was like, what? And he was like you get pushed off a cliff or like stuff like that happens. And I'm like, that's so odd that so many people, as soon as someone else in the dream realizes that they know they're dreaming, just something comes off.
I feel like this is like where I believe that is like more of a spiritual realm dream. I don't know why, but like every time I've had a dream like that, it's like I can see like, I don't know how your brother or your dreams were, but there's always like this big bright light somewhere. Because like there was one time where I actually tried to consciously meditate into my sleep. It was during the time like I was living with like a couple of friends. I had white noise in the background to kind of help me focus on that, to keep my conscious awake, but my body kind of go to like a certain like
that in between realms.
Exactly. My brain was like going into like this white room. And I remember like somewhere in my voice, but that wasn't my voice, was like, oh, this person is going to come into your room, but ignore him. Anyway, so he comes into my room and I kind of like hear him, but kind of don't. And I remember like, they were like, just ignore him. Like, and it was really weird because like I had that voice before I could hear him come into my room, like actual like door opening and everything. So I was really like, that's suspicious, that's weird. But he actually woke me up from my dream, or the dream or whatever, because he was like, your laptop seems broken. And I'm like, no, I literally was like, it's white noise. It's literally white noise. And then the worst thing is like I couldn't go back into that meditative state because it was like that weird like drop. If I was left alone for another like 5 minutes, I'd generally be like in that spirit realm or whatever you can call it. So that's where I'm like, I feel like it has to do something with like the spirit world or something.
The definition of dreams. So dreams are stories / images created by our minds while we're sleeping. The universal human experience that can be described as a state of consciousness characterized by sensory, cognitive, and emotional occurrences during sleeping. Ooh. This is like a quote, but it's like, it is as if one is immersed in another reality entirely of its own non-volition making. Given this phenomenology, it's difficult to see why some indigenous animist societies believe dreams represent a separate world parallel with the waking life. People over the age of 10 dream between 3 to 6 times per night. Each dream about 5 to 20 minutes, which is crazy because sometimes I feel like my dreams are like hours and hours.
Wait, they only dream 3 to 6 times, but yeah, it's 5 minutes.
5 to 20 minutes. So apparently there's like specific stages of like your sleep, and most of the dreaming only takes part in like one stage, the REM stage. Yeah, because I think people used to think you dream loads but you just remember a bit, but apparently it's not as many times as we think. I know, weird. But this is like on average though. So some people might have loads of really tiny ones, I guess, particularly if your sleep is like interrupted.
Reflecting on like my dream journal, like there's some that just like go pages on, like really like 3 to 4 pages. And it's like a whole like storyline, and some of them I even wrote question marks, being like, I don't remember that section of the dream. So to hear that it's like only like 20 minutes, I feel like that's like, how do you even like measure that?
Did like a study where they sort of measured people's brain activity. So they looked at the people's brains while they were sleeping, and then they were sort of just like, okay, this part of your brain, so the part that kind of generates images is most active during these times and for this long. And then I think from that, they determined that the way that you perceive time when you're sleeping is different from when you're awake. So I think that's why sometimes something that may be a 5-minute dream could feel like it's been going on forever.
I mean, I did have like once a dream. Oh my God, this was so embarrassing. It was back in, again, high school. I had this dream of this guy, like in our friendship group. I'd never really spoke to him, but we had a whole life. We got married. I had kids. We grew old together, and we died. And I literally had this whole thing in my head being like, oh my God, I'm in love with this man. I literally like told my friend, like my best friend, being like, I'm in love with him. And she's like, what? No. And I'm like, no, it's stupid. I'm like, I literally convinced in my head it was meant to be. And then I saw him again. I was like, oh my God, Jesus, no. And it was like everything just like crashed. I was like, no, that was just a really bizarre dream, because like no way in hell would...
I have a lot of crushes on people based off of dreams. Like I would literally dream about them in a new light, and then I'd be like, wake up and I'd be like, I must have a crush on them. And this is as a teenager, obviously. And I'd be like, I must have a crush.
Ooh, did they incept your dreams?
Oh, don't say that. That's really scary. I hope they didn't.
It happened in Wizards of Waverly Place, where she jumps into his dreams.
It's creepy, but then it's like you're teenagers. So like if you had the power to jump into your crush's dreams...
There's like this, I guess, love spell that Wiccans or witches use, where they kind of like make them infatuated. And I think it starts off with like, I didn't really look into this because that's something like I feel like no one should really mess with.
Yeah.
Because you're like kind of spiritually manipulating someone. Yeah. But where it starts off with a dream, and then they like become more obsessive because you're continuously in their dreams. And then it becomes like small things, like where your brain like sees, I don't know, something your name is referred to everywhere around, and like, I don't know. So I feel like it starts off with like small dream hints, but I feel like if it's like a one-time dream, I'm pretty sure that's just like your subconscious.
I remember this one particular crush. I read you, because I used to keep like a dream journal. It was the one about I'm in top set maths.
Oh, it was big man's in top set maths.
Dream. It was like a zombie apocalypse, and like I was trying to tell everyone that it was a zombie apocalypse in school, and then they wouldn't listen to me. And then the guy, I was like, he was the only person who would come with me. And then we got to the maths block, and I was like, dude, you need to come with me. Like, you're going to be safe with me. I know what I'm doing. I wouldn't in a real zombie apocalypse. Well, in my dreams, I guess I do. And then he's like, no, Tash, I can't come with you. And I was like, why? And he's like, because we have maths now, and I'm in top set maths. And I was like, what? And then he just left me. And then I was like, okay, you're going to die. But sure. Fucking top set maths comes first. Jesus Christ.
That dedication is why he's in top set maths, and you're still in medium maths.
What? Were you like trying to like dream the perfect man?
I don't know. I still don't understand what that meant to this day. Again, it was a stupid teenage mind. I mean, I like maths like a normal person likes maths.
So you love it.
Oh.
Am I going to be impressed that you can calculate things really fast? Yeah.
1 + 1 is 2.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Bentley.
And this is why I don't like you, because you did it so fast, because my brain can't.
Top set maths.
No, I don't know. Anyway, so apparently you only remember around 95% of dreams are forgotten.
For me, it's 100, mate.
Dreaming is supposed to help you learn and apparently develop long-term memory.
Wait, you don't dream?
I barely remember my dreams. I tried to start like a dream journal once because I was like, do I dream? Every now and then. I think I dream like once or twice. Well, I remember my dreams once or twice a month.
What? I remember like majority of the nights of my dreams.
See, but I don't sleep well. I feel like I'm not hitting that REM.
Actually, waking up is supposed to be better for things like lucid dreaming, because you're constantly reminding your brain that you're awake when you are. So you should be more easily able to actually achieve.
See, I don't know if I lucid dream, right? Because I don't know what you guys... I'd never, like, move the entire world around when I lucid dream. If I'm lucid dreaming, I'm just making my decision. But it's never something crazy. It's like, I normally just follow the storyline that's been created. And it's not even a good one. It's normally just...
But do you know that you're dreaming?
But I'm not dreaming. I feel I'm still
But
awake.
that's lucid dreaming, where you like, you know, that's like when the guy told me in the dream, he's like, oh, I know you're awake. It's because he knows, like subconsciously, or I don't know if he's real. Maybe he's just faking all my imagination, but I don't know. That's lucid dreaming. Yeah. From what you're telling me, that's lucid dreaming.
That's the only dreams I remember. Is if when I wake up and I'm like...
That's it.
Like, that is lucid dreaming. Yeah. But it's also interesting that that's the only dreams you remember. Like, you don't remember any, like, stupid ones where it's like, ooh, a bird gave me popcorn and I watched the movie. I don't know. But that's actually really interesting.
Apparently, right, by definition, it's called a wake-initiated lucid dream, wild. And it happens when you directly enter a dream from waking life. And it's said that wild helps your mind stay conscious while your body goes to sleep. So that's why you probably don't think you're sleeping, or like you don't think you're dreaming, because in your head you're probably just like, the mind is just wandering while I'm resting. And then it means that you're laying down, you're relaxed, almost like a hallucination where you're kind of like thinking, oh, my mind's going somewhere, but then you're like, I'm awake.
To be fair, every time I do have that, it feels like it'd be, I have 2 hours left to in bed, and it would go by in like a second, and I'd be so pissed. Because I'd still be tired. Asleep. Yeah, but I'd still wake up tired.
I think it's like mental tiredness that you face rather than like physical. Because I was about to ask, do you like, this is a personal question, but do you overthink a lot?
Ooh, that's a personal question.
Because maybe that's just your brain kind of being like...
I definitely overthink a lot. 100%.
Because I have like that as well, where I'm laying in bed, I'm like, oh, I feel like I haven't slept at all, and then look at the time, it's like 6 hours has passed, and I'm like,
damn, I'm really good at sleeping, guys.
You're too good. It's annoying. I'm actually not in like a bad way. I'm genuinely jealous. I wish, like, sometimes it takes me like hours to get to sleep, and you're just there, gone.
I'm literally like, the moment I say goodnight, Connor knows to say what he needs to say fast, because I'm gonna be out. Now, I trained myself. Basically, at boarding school, we had to sleep at a specific time. So, and I was like not used to that at all. And it would suck because they would be like, lights out, you've got nothing to do, and I'd be bored up. So I was like, I need to train my mind to fall asleep. So it started off where I'd be like, I'm going to start thinking of something, and then I'm going to look at an object, close my eyes, and then say to myself, that's the last thing I'm going to see before I fall asleep. And then after that, close my eyes, I would just start thinking of like a storyline. Same one's been going on for like years and years, just going on in my head. Just keep going. And then it got to a point where I started doing that like every time I was about to fall asleep. I would literally be like, last thing I'm going to see before I go to sleep. Close my eyes. Story continues. Last thing I'm going to see before I go. Story continues. And then over time, the story got shorter and shorter. It used to be like I would have like long like development going on, characters get killed off, new characters come in. Now it's literally like I have to keep I'm doing a previously on and then I literally instantly just fall asleep. So it took that, and then now I just like boom, I'm out. I thought it was a crazy thing that I did, but then when I was doing the research, apparently like that's actually something that you can do, and it like
I used to do that as a kid.
Yeah, I think I just carried it. I feel like most people do as like children, mostly because you're scared and you just like, I'm in the dark, I want to sleep. But then I think I just carried it on into adulthood.
See, because I do that. I play like a story in my head before I get to sleep to try and get to sleep.
But do you veer from that story and start thinking about
yes, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you have to like bring yourself back.
There's sometimes where I might get pissed off of the storyline that my brain is creating, and I purposely wake myself up so I can start again.
Nah, you gotta go with
No, like there's some things where I'm like, I don't want this. I don't want to. No, I refuse. No, I'm okay. I'd rather be awake. That's like a lot of times like why I would struggle to fall asleep as a kid, because I'd be like, no, don't like this.
Sometimes when I'm sleeping, I need that reset. I have to open my eyes just so I close them again. I don't know why. It's weird.
See, that's why I have this is the last thing I'm going to see before I go to sleep. Because then I'm like, if I'm opening my eyes to look at something else, there better be a damn good reason as to why I'm doing that. Because I've already said to my brain, this is the last thing you're going to see before you sleep.
You're just way too committed to it.
Way to sleep. It's my passion. blind people dream more with other sensory component compared to sighted people.
So like they dream like with like smelling, touching.
Well, I don't know about hearing, because apparently a lot of dreams don't contain sound. Yeah, apparently it's actually quite rare for you to have sound. Most dreams are just images, and like movement, but not actually sound. And I was like, that's kind of insane, right? Because now I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Like, do I just think that that's what people are like doing and saying and stuff? But like, what do voices sound? Weird. A bit too hyper aware about it, but
Yeah, because I was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong, and my brain went like to all like the dreams I've had. I'm like, no, oh my God, it's right.
I start thinking about. I mean, I hope this like sparks interesting dreams tonight, though, because I start thinking about. I'm like, what? Yeah, what voices would you hear? Is it just gonna be your voice but slightly different that everyone else says? You know?
Well, it's also like sometimes, or I read online saying like faces, like you can't technically see faces, but I would somewhat disagree with that because like I literally had a dream where I looked in the mirror.
That's weird. Apparently, if you're like wanting to improve on lucid dreaming, you should do consciousness checks. One of the checks is to look in the mirror, and it shouldn't be like a true reflection.
Well, it wasn't really a true reflection.
It shouldn't be like you, if that makes sense. It shouldn't be like,
I don't know. That's what I dreamt. I drew it. That's why I believe it's like some spiritual thing, especially since it wasn't my body.
Negative dreams are more common than positive ones.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I see that.
What? My dreams are so nonchalant. Although, I forgot to mention the dream I had this morning. I literally messaged you about it. I had a dream this morning where, for some reason, I was walking back from somewhere. Maximilian was there. And we were talking about work. And he was like, oh, yeah, where I work right now, we've got loads of work. And I was like, oh, wow, we don't have any. And then he was like, oh, that's crazy. Because, like, you know, I just had a job interview like a few days ago. I had sent my CV. And he was just like, oh, they're like currently looking for someone and they're hiring. In my head, I remember thinking, I should check them out. Because I was like, you've got an interview there, they must be hiring. I'm going to check them out. And I woke up today and I got an email back from Coda being like, oh, hey, like we're going to pass your CV on to our senior management. And I was like, that's weird. I was like, that's weird. I was like, because literally like no one else responded at all to even be like, oh yeah, we received it. And I was starting to think, oh my God, am I like sending it to the right people? Hello? Like what the hell?
Well, good for you. Okay.
What a negative dream.
Well, are you an anxious person, would you say?
I like to think I'm not, but my body begs to differ.
I'd say overall you're not.
I don't know. I get like all of the feelings and reactions of being anxious, but mentally I don't think I am.
What, do you like have mental stillness?
Like my hands get really sweaty and my heart starts racing and like...
Because I would be like... oh, can I talk to you later? My brain would be like, oh my God, this is what you did wrong. Oh, this is what they're going to talk about. Oh, this is going to happen. Oh, wait, what about this? Oh, da-da-da. And I would also like have like my heart beating fast. Like I would not have any mental stillness, security. With dreams, that's literally like, it comes from your subconscious. Like for instance, like I get a lot of dreams that Ash cheats on me. It would be like small things like that. Or like, I remember when my grandma died, I was dreaming that like everyone in my family was dying. It's based on like how you can mentally secure yourself, because you clearly can, like mentally wise, you can ground yourself, which is pretty wicked. Because a lot of people can't do that, being like, you know what? I recently have been, but that's a whole other story. But majority of like the dreams in this journal have been kind of like negative dreams. But that is also during a time where I was doing also a lot of like shadow work. So looking at the trauma, bad stuff, the way I am as a human and all of that jazz. So I feel like it was just like my brain just purging all of that like negativity.
Interesting.
No idea about dreams, but what about you?
I don't know. I'd say my dreams are more random when I remember them.
In the negative way, or?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's negative or positive. It's just normally life things, but in a dream form.
Yeah, that's like your subconscious taking over in the dream. So if it is like something like worried, oh, I'm scared of losing my shoe. I don't know why you would be, but you could dream that you'd be losing your shoe in various different forms, but in random, like a hawk took it or something like that.
I don't know. I generally can't remember most of my dreams. There's only one dream that I remember recently, and it just doesn't make sense.
What is it?
It was like a Dune Lord of the Rings situation. But I was just me, and I was just regularly going through life. It was like in 4, where it's a flat earth, and it just kind of goes off, and you can see into space. But there was like jumping stones, so you jump down and go to like this waterfall pond place. And I don't know why I was going that way. I was following someone I know. And I went down it, and I ended up speaking to the universe, and it was like just a big ball of like stars and stuff like that. It was like, yeah, do you see that like volcano over there? I put a golden apple in there, and that's what's at the center of the earth.
How did this dream go to like, oh my god, this is so like interesting, this is so amazing, to like, oh yeah, I put a golden apple in a volcano?
It's because of the golden onion, isn't it?
I don't know. That wasn't even on my radar at the time.
What's the golden onion?
From Twilight, you know, where they like do the science thing and then they win a golden onion. The very first one.
Oh my god. Oh, were you guys watching Twilight?
An obscure reference that Connor is the only thing he remembers most.
It's so random. It's so random. It's got to be relevant. It's going to come back in the spin-off, and you're going to be shocked.
There was no golden onion in the spin-off, just to let you know. Spoiler alert.
But yeah, the voice of the universe was Peter Capaldi. But anyway, he was the voice of the universe. But then after they told me that there was a golden apple that created the world, credits came up. And it didn't say his name. It said someone else named Peter, who I know in real life. And I was like, why the hell would it be someone's random name? I know it was Peter Capaldi. Why the hell is it saying a different Peter?
So weird. Okay, yeah, that is really weird. But I kind of like that. It's a wholesome dream.
But it's so random. The entire time I chose to go that way. I don't know why. I wasn't just like, oh, this is happening. I was like, seems pretty cool. I'll go that way.
So we talked about some of our theories. Here are some of the other theories. Dreams are a way of repressing unconscious desires and wishes, which I find really weird because, like you said, when you're like, oh, I've had a sex dream with someone I would never like want to have sex with. Apparently, it's your unconscious desires and wishes, Iris. So you've got something to admit to yourself there.
I know some of these people, and I'm not saying them ever out loud. Definitely no.
Apparently, yes.
Oh no, I will beat you up. Because some of them, I literally once told Ash, and he looked at me being like, why would you dream about this person? And he was like genuinely disgusted about it.
Susan Boyle.
Leave Susan Boyle out of there.
Who's Susan Boyle?
Susan Boyle, she does the opera singing.
She's just a singer. I don't know why you even said Susan Boyle.
Because she had an anal bum party.
What?
A what? She had what?
It was back in like...
Wait, is this true?
No.
Now, why you again with the rumors?
Basically, they were doing like a hashtag on Twitter, and it was supposed to say Susan's album party. But when you looked at it, it came up with Susan's anal bum party.
Oh, Susan, boy, what are you doing? No, Susan, no. This is why your dreams are so random. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know who she is.
I'm like, Britain's Got Talent.
Oh, again, foreigner here.
Yeah. Apparently, you could also be interpreting random signals from the brain and body during sleep, consolidating and processing information gathered during the day, or working as a form of psychotherapy.
Yeah, I do believe that. There's one time I had a dream where I was like really like studying for a French test. And I don't know, maybe I was overtly studying, but it actually helped me pass because in my dream, I was literally in a classroom and my mom would like teach me, like she would always help me with like studying. Mm-hmm. And we would just be studying in the stream. And literally like one thing I couldn't get, like hack, like a certain grammar or whatever. Yeah. I finally understood it in the stream.
Yeah, people do that. People listen to like tapes when they sleep as well to like learn a new language.
Oh, is it like Joey from Friends, that one scene?
Oh my God, yeah. But no, there was like a big thing. I don't know if it actually works.
I think it would work to a certain degree, of course, because like you can't just play random like Japanese and you don't know how to even pronounce or spell or whatever. Okay, maybe not spelling, but
for my theory test.
Well, you played it at night, like when you were sleeping.
Did it work?
I mean, I passed, so maybe, I don't know if it can be accredited to that, though I did also study separately, but I'll try it with Spanish. If I wake up and I'm fluent, you know my secret. Found this AI theory on Reddit.
Wait, so this is a theory made by...
Theory by someone about AI and dreams. Oh. Okay. They're like, what if our dreams are actually generated by a synthetic intelligence SI, that runs in a hippocampus, the part of the brain that is responsible for memory, imagination, and dreaming. Our dreams are like simulations of reality, but with a twist. They combine different elements from our future, present, as well as our fears, desires, and fantasies. They can be so detailed and immersive that we sometimes confuse them with reality. But what if these dreams are not just random or subconscious processes, but rather the result of a highly trained SI using our dreams as a way to test its own creativity, intelligence, and emotions? Maybe it's trying to communicate with us or influence our decisions and actions. Maybe sometimes the SI is having fun with us, creating absurd and nonsensical scenarios that make us laugh or scratch our heads. And maybe sometimes it's messing with us, creating horrifying and disturbing scenarios that make us scream or cry.
Wait. So the SI, where's the SI actually in our brain?
Yeah, because like that would mean that we're like.
I mean, everyone would have to have it like implanted.
I don't believe it. First of all,
if it's like influencing us through all the technology around us, you know, those people that are like 5G is gonna kill us all. I had a weird Bruce Willis dream, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because of the idea that something else is putting images into the heads, right? Because I was like, I've only ever had one dream that was so messed up. I was like, where the hell did this come from? And basically, it felt like an action movie. In this dream, I was working with Bruce Willis to help try and save his wife, who had been kidnapped at the time by this like crazy villain. And we did everything we could to try and get her back. It was a long dream, a whole other action sequence and shit happened. Until comes off of a phone, and then he's told that his wife's dead. He watches a video of his wife being horrifically tortured, and then something in his head, I had to watch the torture. It was horrible. Something in his mind switches, and he suddenly starts hunting me down. Just me. Don't know why. I was helping him. I didn't torture his wife. Literally to the point where I'm like driving a car and I'm trying to escape from my life. I drive it off a cliff, and I am like on the floor just dying, and he comes over and then he shoots me in the leg. I'm there like, please stop. And he kept going. It was bad. And after I died, for some reason my brain decided to switch to his perspective, and then I have to watch him now realize that he gets extreme pleasure from people suffering. So he goes around torturing women. This was my dream. This was my dream. Literally came out of nowhere. Had not watched a Bruce Willis film. Had not watched a horror film. I don't watch those kinds of horror films. They freak me out.
Yeah, you got some disturbed shit going on in your head.
This was the one dream I was like...
I mean, I've had fucked up dreams, don't get me wrong, but I feel like that one's a bit traumatizing. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I'm okay.
That's some like why you got exercise shit, right?
Oh, bitch. Yeah. Don't bring that shit up now, okay? We've been through it.
I feel like there might be some shit lingering or something.
It was like an anomaly.
Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing to add to that except for like, I'm sorry.
But I don't believe in the SI.
No, absolutely not.
No, it's insane. I just thought it was like, this person was really like going through something. I think maybe they went through what I did. Must be AI. God damn it, it must be AI.
Well, there is a bunch of people that think they have like chips in them.
Matrix theory as well.
Oh, that we're in a dream.
Yeah, they were in a dream. I think that's what this person probably believes that.
Oh, okay.
I feel like if we are in a simulation, why would they even bother with us dreaming? Because wouldn't they just use that time to like shut like minds down?
Keeps us preoccupied.
Maybe it's also to test us, to see like what fears can we overcome, what can't we overcome. Yeah. And clearly mine is just cheating.
I don't even hate Bruce Willis. I think he's an okay guy. I don't know.
Thoughts and prayers to him.
He's not dead.
Well, no, he's dying.
What?
Wait, do you not know this? No. He's got dementia to the point where he can't, like, I think, talk anymore or walk or anything.
Oh, I thought you...
Yeah, this poor man is suffering, and you've literally came like this whole...
No, this is not... I didn't want this. Let the record show I didn't ask for any of this. The science community also believes that dreams, but they don't have any evidence for anything. But they've like new research that have speculated that dreams fall into like specific categories. And one of them is that it may be preparing you for possible future threats. So basically, your brain is like, let me feed you some stuff that could happen in the future so that you process and handle it in the dream. So that if it does happen in real life, already been through it, if that makes sense.
That's right, Bruce Willis. So don't even try it.
No, thoughts and prayers. Stop it.
Imagine he's lying to his whole family and the whole world and everything. And he's like, Tash, I know.
I'm coming for that leg.
Why did you say it like that? I'm coming for that leg.
But if it is preparing for possible futures, dude, you need to stop having dreams about SG.
I do also get night terrors. Like I used to get them a lot when like a certain traumatic thing happened in my life. And that led to me also having then sleep paralysis a lot. But luckily I have an amazing partner that wakes me up from me screaming and crying.
Bundle of sunshine over there.
No, I had good dreams as well. I'm sorry.
I'll have you know, most of my dreams are lovely.
Sure.
I
Someone's brain that dreams like that? I don't know.
I said, hey, top set maths, you know, that's
With a zombie apocalypse as well.
zombies, you know. If I could handle them, they were alright. They were tame zombies, you know. Stages of sleep, 5 phases of sleep in a cycle.
Phase 1.
Light sleep, slow eye movement, reduced muscle activity. This stage forms 4 to 5% of the total sleep.
Stage 2.
Eye movement stops and brain waves become slower with occasional bursts of rapid waves called sleep spindles. This stage forms 45 to 50% of total sleep.
Stage 3.
Extremely slow brain waves called delta waves begin to appear, interspersed with smaller, faster waves. This accounts to 4 to 6% of total sleep.
Stage 4.
The brain produces delta waves almost exclusively. It is difficult to wake someone during stages 3 and 4, which together are called deep sleep, and there's no eye movement or muscle activity. People awakened while in deep sleep do not adjust immediately and often feel disorientated for several minutes after waking up. This forms 12 to 15%.
Stage 5.
This is known as the rapid eye movement, REM. Breathing becomes more rapid, irregular, and shallow. Eyes jerk rapidly in various directions, and limb muscles become temporarily paralyzed. Apparently, this is to prevent you from acting out your dreams. Heart rate increases, blood pressure rises, and males develop penile erections.
You could have just said an erection. Penile erection? I'm sorry, I can't take this seriously anymore.
People awake during REM sleep. They often describe bizarre and illogical tales, dreams, and this accounts for 20 to 25% of total sleep time. REM phase of sleep is a likely candidate for the cause of dreaming, and our most vivid dreams happen during REM, which happens in short episodes throughout the night, about 90 to 120 minutes apart. So you actually get part breaks. And you're more likely to remember your dreams on weekends or days when you sleep in, because each episode of REM sleep is longer than the last.
One thing I do have to say, like the paralyzed, where your body gets paralyzed, I do believe it, but there's some moments I have. There was one time I woke myself up by punching myself because I was sleeping cradling like that, and I think I jerked and I punched my jaw.
Oh, apparently that's called hypnic jerks, and they're strong, sudden jolts or spasms that you kind of get. And apparently this reason is why when you have dreams where you're falling or when you wake up because you feel like falling, it's because of this, because it kind of happens, and then because your body's physically at that point going through something. So then in your dream you're like, oh.
Kind of like how you see the dogs like running in their sleep. They're chasing that rabbit.
They're so cute. Oh, my dog does that so much. Or there's one time she was like kind of twitching, and then at the same time like, and I was like, oh, you're so adorable. Would you say your Bruce Willis dream was a nightmare?
That was a nightmare. That was a crazy nightmare.
Nightmare or night terror?
Nah, it was a nightmare. I don't think it was a night terror.
What's the difference?
If you wake up drenched in sweat, it's a night terror.
Damn, then it was a night terror, because I was like disturbed.
I think your heart has to go over like a certain like rhythm.
I thought night terrors like also include like waking yourself up by crying or like screaming.
I'm not too sure. I just know it's like supposed to activate your fight or flight or something.
I think that kind of ties into it, to be honest, because I think it's like anything that causes your heart to race over. It doesn't always have to be like something terrifying. It could also be something like emotional, something or that induces a lot of anxiety, which can be caused by fear but also be caused by other things as well. Like people can be scared when they're anxious, but they could also be like,
it's gotta be a panic.
Causes include illnesses, and apparently nightmares usually begin at the ages of 3 and 6, and they should decrease after the age of 10.
No wonder kids have so much trouble sleeping.
Apparently, women have more nightmares than men during their teen and adult years. Fun, don't really know why. If you have reoccurring nightmares that happen often enough and are distressing enough to impact your ability to function, you have a condition called nightmare disorder.
That's actually really sad to have. Because, like, you'd be, like, scared of, like, falling asleep.
Yeah, mental. I think at that point you probably would need to get help, professional help, just to kind of help you, because there has to be a reason why you're having the same dream over and over again. Because I've had that, but it wasn't to the point where I couldn't sleep. It was just sort of like the same dream over and over.
What, on multiple days?
Yeah.
See, I've only had it on the same night.
Yeah.
As in, yeah, so like you wake up and you're like, oh my God, that was a bit... Ooh. When you go back to sleep.
It's the same dream. Ugh.
See, around when my granddad died, I would have this pretty much the same dream over and over again over the span of like a week. But then that's like such a specific time in life. So it was sort of just like, and this was during the time where everyone else in my family is having like very similar dreams, and they were all having kind of the same dreams over and over again.
So I feel like that's like more of like a spiritual dream, like a spiritual connection to like a past or a soul.
I think that's why. So I didn't really like freak out too much over it, because I was like, around 8% of the general population experience sleep paralysis.
Only 8?
It's not as common.
Oh my God, what?
I think I've only ever experienced it once in my life.
I've experienced it like 3 times.
I've never experienced it.
I've like, again, like first time was like a traumatic thing happened to me, and it was just horrible. Like I remember thinking I was awake. It was like when I was living at my dad's, and there was like my light switch to like the whole room, like the big lights was right next to me, and I remember hitting it and it goes back off. On, back off, on, back off. And I saw this like creature like crawl on me, and I remember like also waking up, like not being able to move.
Yeah, mine, I can't remember what was happening, but it kind of was very similar, where there was a thing, and then I remember I couldn't move because I was trying to like get out of bed, but I could not move. I couldn't really like move my mouth either, but I was like really just trying because I was like freaking terrified, and I was crying, and I was like, and then I finally managed to open my mouth, and then I screamed, and then my dad came into the room, and then he like switched on the light, and he was like, Tash, like, are you okay? And then I like, that was the moment I kind of like came out of it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm fine.
I read online that like what like scientifically, like what is a sleep paralysis is that, you know how you mentioned how your body goes in that like paralyzed like state?
Yeah.
It's the brain not communicating with like the subconscious conscious mind, that it's like, oh, we're awake, but the body is still in that paralyzed state. So it kind of like can't move until that brain, like, I don't know how, releases an hormone or whatever. It just kind of releases yourself from the paralyzed state. So
it's crazy. It's kind of, it's weird. But other things, stress, fear, trauma, grief dreams are common. Apparently grief dreams are common during holidays. Yeah, I guess it makes sense, because holidays you usually spend around family and stuff, and if like your family member's not there, you kind of think about them a lot more, so they're more likely to come.
I have the opposite. I feel like when I'm more away from my family, I can dream about my grandma more. Whereas like my mom, she dreams a lot about my grandma. And whereas my dad, he has the same problem as you, where he can't, like, for context, this is his mother, so like he can't dream, he has terrible sleeping patterns and everything. And my mom only sees her in her dream when everyone's a bit stressed in the family. So yeah, no, like none, at least from like my mom and my experience, like my brothers don't really sleep. My older brother only dreams about dying. Don't know what that is about.
Eating before bed makes nightmares more likely.
Yeah, cheese.
Probably just eating in general. It increases your metabolism, signaling your brain to be more active.
That's cheese, mate. Cheese.
No, Ash banned me from eating cheese at one point because I kept having recurring nightmares, but that's because we kept eating cheese.
I think also honey.
Honey?
I'm not too sure. My only evidence comes from Futurama when she eats the honey.
I don't know if you can believe Futurama, man.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a good source, but most of the writers on there had university degrees.
Yeah, but I mean, the show is about a lot of different things that aren't really true.
Yet. The Simpsons predicted the future. And then he created a show called Futurama. 2,000 years from now, you're all going to be shocked.
I heard, especially when I was in Zim, I'd hear stuff from people talking. They'd be like, "Oh, if you want to have nightmares after the exorcism," I wouldn't really have like nightmares, and I was like, I want to have nightmares again. I don't know. I was a weird kid, so I was like, I want to try it because I don't believe it. So I tried. I ate cheese before going to sleep. I like snuck a bite of my granddad's cheese. Nothing happened. I thought it was disgusting as well. I didn't even like cheese as a child. I was just like,
That's weird itself. Yeah.
See, that's the most sus thing you've ever said. Oh, I tried to eat cheese to have nightmares, and you didn't like cheese.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I like cheese now. I like
The whole story was just a bit. Do you like cheese now?
Prove it. Eat some cheese.
I started to like cheese more, I think, like a few months after I moved to England, when my dad would be like, "Do you want cheese on like a sandwich?" I'm like, "No, I don't like cheese. Cheese is gross." He was like, "Cheese is great." So this blew my mind as a little kid. I was like, because he took bread, put like a piece of cheese on it, put it in the microwave, and then the cheese melted. And then he was like, "Here you go." And I was like, oh my God.
Put some oyster sauce on that bad boy. You got yourself a meal.
I've never tried that, but I was sold as a kid. I was like, this is genius. I love cheese now. So yeah, I just didn't like, I still, to be fair, don't like just eating cheese. Like,
Get a cheese and some grapes.
Okay, that's no, I'm sorry. I can't, no. I haven't tried it, but the thought of it makes me disgusted.
Cheese and grape is like a thing.
did you say it's a French thing?
I know it's a thing, but I didn't say it was a good thing.
You have the cheese. You have a cheese platter with some grapes. Honestly, try it. It's amazing.
My dad, how he got me like into cheese, it's actually really funny. It's like Swedish cheese, but what he'd do is like slice it, and he would put butter and roll it up. And I remember we got so fat that winter.
That's insane.
Yeah, it has to be salted butter, by the way. Because we kept doing it. It came to the point where my
Trying to
mom...
gain weight to keep warm.
Nah, but it has to be like salted butter. It can't be just like regular butter. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna confess something. I sometimes eat butter.
No. No. Oh, no.
I know a lot of people, I literally do it. I literally double take in this apartment being like, fuck, no one can be around to see me eat this butter. I don't eat it like whole. I just have like, it's still on like my knife and I lick it.
That's so much worse than my cheese thing.
What, you not liking cheese?
Although there is people that eat like frozen chips.
Oh, that's
Chip and just...
that's disgusting. I'm sorry, I'd rather eat butter than that.
I still think the butter thing is...
Yeah, that's weird. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
Sure of it in your mouth, you know? It just...
Yeah, I like how it melts.
Ooh, like ice cream, but it's butter.
It's salted. I'm a savory type of gal. I love savory food. I would go cheese with butter.
I'm going to do some themes and stuff to wrap us out, right? They're themes during sleeping. So, school, teachers, and studying, being chased or pursued. Bruce Willis, shout outs. Sexual experiences. Apparently, this is what I found out. I didn't know. Morning wood has nothing to do with sexy dreams or stimulation. Nocturnal penile tumescence causes men to have 3 to 5 erections every night, some lasting 30 minutes. What the hell is up with that?
Isn't it like to do with the blood flow or what?
Of the penis, I am shocked too.
Off the Are you speaking on behalf of penises? Penis here interjecting. And apparently women can release vaginal secretions from arousal and even orgasm when having a sexual dream. Only 4% of people's dreams are about sex, according to research. But then I thought, yeah, I know.
Literally, I think in this book I read sex way too many times than I thought I would. Like, and it would also be like random people, not like people I actually like would want to have sex with.
Apparently, you're more likely to dream about sex if you sleep face down. This can also make you dream about other things, like being locked up, hand tools, being naked, being smothered, and unable to breathe, and swimming.
And swimming? There was a bit of swimming at the end.
Sex, oh, okay, fair enough. And then all like torturous things that could happen to you.
Worst part of this, who the heck is sleeping face down? Your head's what, in the pillow?
No, I think they just mean flat.
I'm like, how do you know this?
How did they get this study as well? I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, especially the erection one. Who is like measuring people's erections? Scientists get like a better hobby.
I mean, that's their job. To watch men sleep and they're
Like, don't cure cancer.
Other dreams that are very common. Sleep sex, also called sexsomnia, that's right, is a sleep disorder, much like sleepwalking. Except, instead of walking, a person engages in sexual behavior like masturbation or intercourse while asleep.
Are there no cases about this?
There was like some, again, my sources are TV shows. It happened like there's a scene in House where she doesn't know what's happening, and then she kept going to her ex's house and sleeping with him. And she didn't
That
know.
seems bizarre because that means she's like driving a car.
People do when they sleepwalk. They can like literally drive cars to places and do
All my brother did was pee in the bin. Yeah, he thought it was a toilet. And he just started peeing, and then like my dad caught him halfway, and he like pissed everywhere while he was like holding my.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
There's no cases.
Basically, guilty men are getting away with sexual assault charges by claiming that it was that. It was like a thing that was rising in like rape cases in Britain. And they're warning, like, basically just telling people that people are using it as a defense.
Is it like a thing you're diagnosed with and you can't get rid of? Like, what's it called where you fall asleep everywhere and all that?
narcolepsy.
Is it like that, or is it like a more of a oh, you're really stressed in times and your body needs sex to release those hormones or something?
I don't know.
What was the percentage that people have that?
Didn't even say a percentage. Like, unless it's literally in that case where, like, you have a partner or someone who tells you, like, oh, something happens. How is it going to come up? Do you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, by the way, remember last night? Ha ha ha.
But it's also like scary to people that don't know.
Yeah.
It's also like, this is like most probably very small percentage of like the cases that you've just mentioned with like guys getting, using it in defense. Like, what if it's like, there's like this, 5 or like even less, 1% person like being like, I generally have this disorder. I'm really sorry.
That's true. Imagine someone thinking you've initiated a whole relationship. Other common dreams: losing teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Tooth dreams apparently could have bigger meanings. Your teeth falling out.
It's a sign of anxiety.
Yeah. But then also on the other side of that, because I was like, everyone knows about the anxiety and stuff, but it could be caused by undiagnosed dental irritation.
Well, that makes sense because most probably in your dream you're like trying to relax and then you feel your teeth like being irritated. So that makes sense.
I used to get them a lot. Just like my teeth falling out. I hate teeth falling out dreams. They're the worst. Like, now I'm like, do I have problems with my teeth? Are they going to fall out? Jesus Christ.
Well, if you don't have any like issues with them when you're awake.
Sure. Apparently someone having an abortion is also pretty big, which I've never had that dream.
No, never had that dream.
What about tornadoes or strong winds?
No.
No. I feel like that's very American.
Yeah, very, because they have like tornadoes all the time for some reason.
And then the last one, being an object. Has anyone ever dreamt they were like a non-living object?
I wish.
I've never had that.
I wish. I feel like, but what would you be doing there like the whole time you're dreaming? Would you see the world go by and you just kind of go like, well, I'm just like a lamppost and a dog's pissing on me.
That's kind of a boring dream. Just a lamppost.
It's like, that would be, even if you're a
A
plant.
plant would be kind of fascinating. Would you feel like a plant?
At least you'd be living. If you were a rock, you do nothing.
Yeah, true. And someone picks you up and throws you and you're like,
What, would you know how to like photosynthesize if you dream as a plant?
maybe, I don't know. Possibilities are endless. You're a plant. That's it all. That's it all. We've like explored the dreams, the weirdness. Honestly, I feel like my dreams are going to be really weird now. Because I feel like I'm like hyper fixated on the idea of dreams.
I'm really excited. Tell me more.
To dream.
Yeah, to dream. And like, if you guys dream as well, hope you do, Connor. I'm sending.
See if it changes anything.
Try meditating. That's something I do recommend. Like, this shit, like, all came across because of my meditation.
And a dream journal apparently is like one way to like train yourself to lucid dream. So
I'll give it a go. I just generally just don't remember. I think I tried to make a dream journal once,
I
but
feel like meditation helps with that. Because you kind of like are forcing yourself to be like, especially if you're meditating like 30 minutes, you kind of go in that weird state of like mind where you wake up and you're like, you feel refreshed.
damn, maybe that's what you need. A mental cleanse.
I do. I generally do. I need a spa day, man. Full on spa, massage, little like mud mask with the little cucumbers over my eyes.
Well, we'll end it there. Thank you for joining us. Gotta go.
And I will never be returning. Don't ever invite me back. No, I'm joking. Please do. This was so much fun. I loved it. Thank you.
Do you want to tell people stuff about yourself, like what you do and stuff?
I am a artist. So you can check my socials out at like TikTok and Instagram. It's TikTok is at Iris Haller and my art account is underscore howler underscore iris, I think it is. Whatever, one of them will pop up, hopefully. And feel free to like share, like, do anything you want in there. Just no hate, please. I am sensitive. It will come into my dreams, please.
And as for us, we will be back with another episode soon.
And we'll catch you in 2 weeks' time.